No, I definitely am.
Is this how you open the pot?
I open it by glossing up, girl.
Wait, let me get my...
You have to get your gloss nearby. I'm telling you. Stay glossed up.
I'm Bryan Agnew. And we're here for the hang. Oh, and Carlisle, Forrester's good.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Here for the Hang. I have a very special guest. Bryan Agnew is sick, by the way. So it's just, I'm your host, Carlisle Forrester, and our guest today is Miss Anya Marina.
Hi, so happy to be here.
Singer, songwriter,
Actor,
performer extraordinaire,
broadcaster, podcaster,
yes,
friend,
queen of radio.
I certainly was at one point. Not really. I had a good 10-year run in San Diego.
Tenure.
Yeah. I started out doing midnights.
You had a tenure.
Yeah.
A tenure.
Yeah, I did have a tenure. I was the midday girl in San Diego at FM 94.9.
Give us that radio voice.
San Diego's independent radio. I never really had a true radio voice. Like, this is it. This is what you got.
That is the radio voice.
But then I listened back to myself a lot, and I'm like, it wants to go up here. It wants to be here, but you got to just calm it down. The other day I ran into my friend, Lauren, and she just talks like this. Hi, so good to see you. And I was like, instant ASMR. Like, can you imagine committing to that voice in life?
Yeah. No, I can't.
Like, what if you just always were in Paris mode?
Yeah, Paris is very hard to do because it gets very gravelly and growly. It just kind of like trickles out.
But you are one of the best Paris impersonators I've experienced, and it seems to flow from a natural place.
You know, if you have a dirty bong for many years, you too can have a Paris growl. That's what I always say. Yes, loves it.
Yes.
But I had radio, you know, we were just talking about our radio experience, and I had radio call letters to say too.
What do they
call it? The liner. So I would have to say every hour on the hour, 92.1 Rebel Radio, Mississippi's new music alternative.
Sounds so good. The station ID, right?
Yeah.
Top of the hour.
The call letter.
We had to do KBZT. It's still there. FM 94.9 is big.
You'll never get rid of that, knowing that, right?
That's right.
Oh, you got
Really?
a fan. Our producer, Mark.
I have fans. Oh, I love that. Sometimes it's so funny. Sometimes I'll be at a coffee shop in San Diego and somebody will be like, oh, I loved you on Big Sonic Chill. And Big Sonic Chill was the show right after me. It was not my show.
God.
It was Midori. But Midori talked like this. She was like.
But were you on the other one? As a guest?
I was right before her. I did nights for a long time. And when I left there, I was doing middays, which was like the coveted spot, 10 a.m. to 2.
Really?
Yeah. I did nights. I did overnights when I first started out. I was on all kinds of little independent stations, and we got bought out by what is now Clear Channel, I believe. But at the time, it was called J-Core. Anyway.
And this is pre-music.
It was pre-music, technically. I was secretly writing little songs and fantasizing about becoming a musician. And then I would play coffee shops and little clubs on weekends.
San Diego.
Yeah, in San Diego. I started out at Java Joe's, which is where Jason Mraz started out, and Jewel played there. And then I worked up to the Casbah, which is such a fun club, right in the airplane flight path.
Okay.
So it's just like where Nirvana played, and I still always will get nervous if I ever play there again. I'll be nervous because it's just the coolest club.
It's iconic.
It's so iconic. Yeah, but San Diego is I love it. I'm missing it right now.
I know. I love every time I go down there. I'm like, why can't I just live here? It's so close yet so far away.
You spent a couple nights there during the fire?
Yeah, that's where I fled.
I was like, get out.
I fled to where the clean air was.
It's such a beautiful town. It's like Disneyland. No one has a job. Everyone's surfing. Everyone's happy. Everyone's getting matcha lattes and learning how to bodyboard.
Yeah.
Living off their parents' money.
There's a lot of that.
I think, I don't know, but I want to be part of it.
Or military people.
Yep.
I don't know. There's comedy clubs though. That's
Yeah.
where we. Speaking of Jason Mraz, whenever we did
Oh
that
my
gig,
God, that's right. At the Balboa Theater downtown in Gaslamp.
yes.
Jason surprised the audience. Was it you opening and then Andrew Collin and then me?
There were a lot of people on that show.
I know, there were like 4 openers.
Yeah, because Emil was on that one, Andrew, me, you.
That's insane.
And then Nikki, of course, Nikki Glazer was the headliner. And then, but Jason Mraz came out and did a song with the two of y'all.
That's right.
And so that was the first and only time I've met him, but he's a longtime friend of yours, right?
Yes, he's the best.
And I auditioned but did not get a Jason Mraz music video back in the day, too.
What?
The one for You and I.
Wait, did I know this?
I don't think I've ever told you the story. I mean, it's a very lackluster story.
Both.
Yeah.
When I first heard that song, I thought it was Tracy Chapman. I was like, "Who is this woman?
Good.
She's incredible." His voice is, just to be clear, he's an incredible songwriter. I love him. He has a pristine voice.
Yeah.
It could be it's a gender. Let me stop here. He's amazing though. We're in a songwriting group together, and every week he'll turn in a song, and I'm just like, God, this guy's good.
Tell us about the songwriting group, because I know this is how you wrote a lot of your new album.
Yes.
Asteroid. Y'all, we have it here. If anybody wants to get Anya's new album, Asteroid, it is out now on all the platforms.
Yep.
She signed it for me because I'm special.
You can even order it on vinyl and CD, and I'll sign it myself and send it out myself to you. Or on a great little digital platform that's just new and coming up called Spotify.
Spotify, ever heard of it? That is so exciting. But I know you would have like, and I know this just from being your friend, you would have like assignments for many of these songs that ended up being on the album. So like, how does that work? Like you get a prompt or you get a question or?
So Bob Schneider is the leader of our group. He's an amazing songwriter that you know of, right? In Austin.
Shout out Bob Schneider.
In Austin, Texas. He's insane. Like so many of the people in this group are like Bob, where they can play multiple instruments and write in any genre that you call out. Like if you're like yacht rock, he's got it.
I love a yacht rock. Y'all know I love a yacht rock.
Cheers. So Bob has this group. It's been going for years. I think I joined it in like 2004 or something.
Oh,
crazy.
whoa! I didn't know you'd been at that long.
I mean, I've been in and out like a drug-addled teenager, in and out of rehab. I remember in 2004 writing a song called Space Monkey because he sent out a prompt, and everybody had to write a song called Space Monkey or put that phrase in a song. And I'm sure there's a million Space Monkey songs on
Floating
Spotify
around out there.
Yeah, by all the members. But that song made it on my very first album, Miss Halfway. And I've been in and out of the group ever since. Whenever I need to write an album, I will just rejoin. And beg Bob to let me back in, and he does. And then every week you get a prompt on a Friday, and the prompt can be like last week he sent out Jacuzzi Party and Quincy Jones. Extra credit if you can fit both into one song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Jason's was so good. It like started out with him being a DJ. He's like, "Welcome to the Splash," or whatever the station was. He's like, "Well, it's like Quincy Jones's Jacuzzi Party." I don't know. He fit it in, and then he like writes this epic R&B jam. Like he's so good. So every week you get a prompt on a Friday, and then you have to turn the song in by Tuesday.
That's a quick turnaround.
It is.
What if you're just like, I got nothing?
Then I think you get a week to flake. Okay. But you're not allowed to not turn anything in for 2 weeks.
And you have to play it to everybody in the group.
You just turn it in over email, and then nobody gives feedback or anything. It's just designed to get you writing.
So it's just about having accountability partners.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you guys were all listening.
No, I mean, you can.
You can.
I have like my favorites that I'll listen to and write people, but nobody ever says anything about it. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's like no crosstalk.
It's like, yeah.
Just no feedback. Just do it, which is fun because I don't think I write very well on my own. I write better if people are, I guess there's some ego involved because like if you're going to hear my song, I want it to be good.
Yeah.
But if I'm just giving myself a deadline, I'm going to flake and not do it.
It's the same thing with joke writing. It's like,
Yeah, how
if
do you do it?
there's big comedians in the back of the room that like I care about, I'm going to try harder to like not do weak stuff because I'm like, oh shit, they're watching my set. Like,
How do you write your joke? I never have understood how comics write. Do you write alone or do you write better with people?
I hate writing with people and I don't understand that process. I mean, maybe if it's like for accountability and it's like we're going to sit next to each other and we're both going to write for X amount of time, but it's usually just something I think of and I put it in my phone. And then inevitably, whenever I do it on stage, then the more tags will come or more because you're like saying it until it's funny.
Yes,
And
that makes sense to me.
I feel like my writing process is just like in the like, okay, they're not getting it. It's like the same thing if you're telling a story, you're going to talk until the person gets it. But with
Right.
comedy, it's like you're going to talk until they laugh. And that's how so many like little things will just come out. And that's why I have to listen to every recording, even though I hate
Oh, you
it.
do?
I record everything.
And you listen?
Yes, but it's painful sometimes. But I'll be like, oh, I didn't even remember I said that. And then I'm like, that's why you listen.
That's really a good habit. I
Because
feel like when I do that, I'm like, okay, you got to cut out a lot of what you're saying.
yeah, there's a lot of that too. But it's just like something about the adrenaline in the moment. It's like you're gonna say that thing is just gonna pop up.
Yes. I have this thing where if I'll often rehearse a song to the point where if it's a new song, I have to do it live and just get through it. And I know that I'm going to screw it up. But if I just get through it once, I know
Mhm.
I'll always get through it after that. Like, so I'll try to play a new song live in front of an audience. Even if it's not done and I haven't gotten it to a place where it's perfect, because there's something about performing it live where it's like
You
it
have to.
solidifies the song. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I did it. And now it's in my brain in a new way. Like it's almost like gets cemented in there or something. It's weird.
Yeah.
Even if the song's not worth being played yet. Like I'm like, this is maybe one you should save for like a B-side or not necessarily do this one live. Sometimes I just want to do it
But
live.
what deems it not ready to be live? Like you just want to make sure you know like chord changes or you always know all the words.
No, I don't.
Okay. So it's
I'll
like
forget
everything.
Like if I just wrote a song, sometimes I'll want to play it at a show and I'm like, this is maybe better for an album. Like you don't need to do this at a club or like maybe it's just better as an album track. But I have this thing in me where I'm like, I just want to play it live because it's new and I like it.
Yeah.
Do you ever get that way? Like it's like your joke is a new toy.
Yeah. You're excited to tell that one.
Yeah. And then
But what if you forget the words, are you just like la 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 la?
oh, I'll just say like, okay, I forgot this verse. Let me just kind of vamp for a little bit till I remember it. Or
Yeah.
sometimes if it's an older song, an audience member will shout out the line and you're like, thank you. I forgot.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. You have such a catalog of songs at this point. You probably forget like old ones.
Oh, I
too.
definitely forget chord structures.
How many songs have you written?
I have put out, I think, 6 full-length studio albums and then a live album and then a bunch of EPs. So I wouldn't even know how many songs. Like, I mean, I've written hundreds of songs.
Too many to count.
But I haven't published, I guess, what is that? Like at least 100 at least.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's like like if somebody asked me how many jokes I had written, I don't know. It's like hard to pinpoint.
Do you ever run across old jokes and
oh yeah,
they're good?
I still have all my old notebooks and then sometimes we're like, oh, I could bring that one back actually. I need something.
Yeah, sometimes I'll listen to old songs and I'm like, why did I stop doing this one? It's cute. And sometimes I'll listen to old ones and I'm like, I hope no one ever hears this. Ever. What was I doing? This was my closer for 5 years.
Yeah.
I still think about some of that. I remember getting banned from the Mint. Does the Mint still exist?
Yes.
Yeah, I got banned from
How
the
did you
Mint.
get banned?
I did a song called, I don't know. I had this song. I don't even want to talk about it, but it had like a dirty line in it. And
okay.
And then I also did a song called Sociopath, which is a cute song, I thought. And the chorus is like, I took a bath with a sociopath. I took a bath with a sociopath. And I'll be sorry, but for now I laugh about it all night long.
Love
Anyway,
it.
Amy Schumer told me she used to use this as her entry to stage song. What do you call that?
Oh yeah, like your coming out to stage
yeah,
song?
your coming out song.
Wow.
Which is so funny. But anyway, I played Sociopath, and the owner of the club was like, he wrote me an email that said, this is not the current owner, I don't think, I hope. Anyway, I forgive you if you're watching. He said, I heal people through music, and you're not. You're doing like a Howard Stern shock jock thing.
Oh my God. Just because of a bath taking?
I think it might have been the dirty song that I closed with.
Okay.
But maybe the word sociopath rubbed him the wrong. I don't know.
He sounds like a sociopath.
I was sad about it because I really liked the Mint. But I
You
do feel like
graduated from there.
I feel like my vibe is different. I think maybe when I was younger, I was kind of maybe trying to be a little more
sexual.
Yeah, or like how
Yeah.
you are in your 20s, you're just sort of finding yourself. And as I've found myself more, and like certainly like when I stopped drinking and kind of got to like myself more and figure out who am I really, I realized I'm not like a novelty songwriter. I didn't want to write comedy songs. I was fun maybe on stage and could tell a story, but
You're
I didn't.
so funny in your in between song stuff.
Thank you.
No, really, like almost like comedian level.
No,
you are.
I don't want that pressure. I don't know how you guys do it. I'd so much rather be hiding behind a guitar. It's so terrifying what comedians do. I just couldn't do it.
But I think people enjoy it more whenever you do what you do, where you talk a little bit about the song.
Yeah.
And because everybody's always so curious, like, what does this mean? Or, and I feel like you are good about doing that. Like the reason why you're in town, the reason why we have Anya is because she was performing at the Grammy Museum last night, which is incredible.
That was really fun.
Congrats on that.
Thank you. I was nervous.
Because your iconic song was part of some of the Shondaland TV show.
My song Miss Halfway, which is one of the first songs I ever wrote, it closed out a big episode. I think it was like season 2, episode 2. And they used like a huge chunk of my song. And I was
of Grey's Anatomy.
Of Grey's
right?
Anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's when Meredith confesses her love to Derek Shepherd. And we're all kind of waiting for this moment because they had been like, will they, won't they? And then my song plays and it like closes out the episode and all these people die. You know how they always die at the end of Grey's Anatomy. But it changed my life because I was a struggling singer-songwriter, wannabe musician, sometime actress, radio DJ. I was poor. Somebody had like hit my car in the middle of the night in a hit and run.
Oh,
I could barely drive my car to work. It wasn't totaled, but it was almost totaled. And I was like, I just want to get out of this rut. And then I got a call. Your song is going to be in Grey's Anatomy. And I was so
that's amazing.
Pumped. I was so pumped. I thought it was a prank at first because it was, I had told my friends that I really wanted a song in the show. And like the next week it happened. So
and that was the hottest show too.
It was. They weren't using music in that way before on TV. Like now they do it all the time. But Shonda Rhimes created, like she made music a character in a show.
Right.
Which to the point where you're like, what is the song?
Right.
What is, like, I have to Google the lyrics. Like, who is this? They were playing music loudly. They were playing like a lot of women and like intimate voices. It's to the point where you're like, wait, this is my new favorite song. What is it?
Yeah.
And they were breaking artists. Like I was playing at the Hotel Cafe with all these people that were, they wanted to use local artists and, people that were around. And it was such a crazy time.
It's so funny that you were in LA. We didn't know each other, but we were like orbiting around each other in the same circles, but I never knew you back then.
I heard of you through my friend Chris Nilsson. And he was like, do you know this girl, Carlisle Forrester? And this was years ago, like 20-something years ago.
And Chris Nilsson is a music manager.
Yeah.
And he always had like CDs and whatnot. And I feel like I saw like stacks of your CD like at his house. Does that make sense?
Probably, because he was a music manager. I was probably asking him to help me out.
Yeah.
He's the one who told me to call my song Miss Halfway. Or he goes, I said, what should I call my album? And he's like, obviously Miss Halfway because of the song. And I'm like, I can't call my album that. That sounds like Anya Marina Loser. And he's like, no, Anya Marina missed halfway. I'm like,
hey, Beck did it.
I know. That's iconic. He was right, though. That was a great title.
Yeah.
I reclaimed what that meant because that song is about arguing with two sides of yourself, like the bully inside your head that's like, you'll never make it. You're just a dilettante, aspiring actress, radio person, wannabe.
Dilettante. That's a good word, Anya.
That's the name of the episode, guys. 2 dilettantes, 1 cup.
Yeah. 1 Starbucks cup.
Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, he came up with that for me. And but anyway, he goes, do you know this girl, Carlisle Forrester? I forget why he mentioned you, but I took one look at you. I remember Googling you and being like, oh, fuck.
Googling me. What was even
Look
out
at you,
there
you got
at
shy.
this
You're
point?
like, Googling me, what?
Nobody go to my IMDb page right now.
I remember seeing a headshot and just going, this is the prettiest girl I've ever seen.
I'm still using that headshot.
Look
folks.
at this profile. Look at these big brown eyes.
Still out there.
I don't want to ever meet this woman. She is intimidating beyond words. I remember I was like, Carlisle. She even has a rich name. Carlisle sounds like a wealthy.
That's all about me that's rich.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris.
Carlisle Forrester sounds like a soap character.
Carlisle Forrester sounds like,
but even the soaps,
a wealthy murderess at a golf course.
See,
at a country club.
I would so play that. Get me to that country club.
Yeah.
No, so I just feel like whenever that happens and 2 people orbit each other for so long, they're supposed to meet.
I know. I remember years later how did we meet? Through Nikki?
Through Nikki Glazer.
And I was like, this can't possibly be the same Carlisle. And then I think I Googled you again and I was like, it is. And then we figured out that we both knew Chris.
Yes.
Right?
And everybody, I feel like there's a lot of hang gang watching. We call the fans. There's a lot of hang gang.
Hashtag.
That have come over from the U Up days.
Best show.
Yeah.
That was
the best
such a
show
fun
ever
show.
on Sirius XM. With Miss Anya would be there. And I feel like that's whenever I really got to know you was listening to you on that show. And then we met in person. Because you would do New York and I would do LA. Those were very much the good old days.
That was a great time. I remember doing weekly. I was doing it a lot in New York. And then,
you were always the New York and I was always the LA. So
Yeah.
we weren't on the same episodes, but I knew everything about you from that point on.
the cool thing is when you have a friend and you have no idea how you guys, I can't remember the first time we actually met.
No, I remember the first time we actually met because
tell me.
it was Nikki's special taping.
Oh, in LA?
In LA.
For Bang It Out?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay, I kind of remember that.
And because I was so nervous and excited for her and the thing was about to start and we're all seated in the family section and you were in front of me and I did this nervous squeal. I was just and you
turned around and you were
had this face you're who is this?
I did. Was I a bitch?
No. You knew we knew exactly who each we would officially meet
right.
Later in the night. But the first time you regarded me
you
was
squealed.
Then. It was very
Oh, I'm so glad I met you.
I'm so glad I met you.
I love you. It touched me.
Clip it. No. So
that was 10 years ago?
That was at least 10 years ago.
Yikes. All right.
But 10 years is 1 year now. Everybody, if you don't know, that happens later in life.
It's true.
1 trip around the sun. But now I'm in the inspiration for one of your songs.
Oh my God, yes. If you guys listen, when you listen to Asteroid, you'll see this song, Where the Darkness Is. It's
about a crazy girl.
5. Can I say what it was about?
Yeah.
So you were having a dark moment, a dark time, which we all have had. And that day was inspired to write. And the prompt was Where the Darkness Is.
The prompt was Psycho. And I thought of you. No.
But you were at the end of your rope.
Yeah.
You had it. And you were like, there's no hope. And I related so much to that feeling of just like, oh God, how am I going to get out of this?
I had to move, and it was very unexpected. And that was the dark time, because it was like in LA, moving is so hard, and especially if you don't have a savings or whatever. But Anya has just come from seeing my new apartment. Like, if I would have just waited and taken a beat, it's always everything, it works out like it should.
But in the moment, we
In
never
the
know.
moment, you're like, I'm gonna be homeless. Like, I was literally thinking I was gonna be homeless. It's like, why would I be homeless? I've
And
never been
now
homeless in
you
my
have
life.
the most amazing wallpaper.
And now I have the most amazing wallpaper in the city and no roommate.
It's the best living alone.
I can't do roommates anymore. That was my last roommate situation. And I think that's the reason why I can't, because I can't like live with anybody that just one day could go, okay, I'm leaving. And then you just have to find a new home. Cause as you saw, like, I settle into a place. Y'all, whenever I live somewhere, like, I paint the walls, I put up wallpaper, I get like, I like live in the space. So I don't like transients.
Right. You're
It
not
makes me
just
feel
gonna
very unsettled.
see when Nikki and I moved in together in 2012. Nikki Glazer was my roommate. That's how
Episode 3, if you guys want to go back, and if you don't know who we're talking about.
And she was traveling a lot, and then she would come home and it would be like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, still no couch, no furniture. And I kept telling her, like, I'll find the perfect couch. I'm super picky. And I remember it was like something like 6 weeks. And she's like, girl, please let me just go to IKEA and buy a couch today. Do you trust me? And I was like, oh, like such a control freak. I'm like, I mean, I'm really close to finding a good couch, but I just couldn't. I'm so slow. Like,
Yeah.
it takes me years to find like, okay, that's the pair of jeans I want. I will buy them. And it's
Right.
always as they're going out of style. I'm always like last on the trend.
Now I'll commit.
But she got us the couch, and that's what's so great about her. She's like, go, 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 fast. Let's move. Let's like make decisions and move.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like American Psycho. I remember her coming home and going, this apartment looks like American Psycho. Like, there's nothing here. Because I just like things minimal.
Okay.
And I'm thinking like I might have to move. I think I'm always preparing for possible disaster or change.
I settle in. I can't feel transient.
That's
I think
good.
I just have to, that makes me feel very unstable. So Where the Darkness, luckily, has a happy ending, is what I'm saying, because we got out of that dark time.
We sure did. And it came out sounding real good. Thanks for letting me use your story. It really just was, I mean, your feelings were exactly mine too at the time. Maybe
Yeah.
not in that day, but I felt like that too. And then I walked around town and I wrote it. I remember I didn't have a guitar with me and I was on a walk and I'm like, fuck, I have to write this song. It's due today. You have to turn it in today. Hurry up, because I was procrastinating. And I just remember walking like about this pace and I started going, where the darkness is, I'll see where the darkness is. Da, da, da. And like the whole
So
melody
beautiful.
came to me all at once. And I'm like, this is not a popular song. This is never going to be like on the radio, because it just sounded like a weird Baroque
I feel
dance.
like that song would be good in a film.
Yeah.
Which-
Are you listening, music supervisors?
Just get on it. She's in town.
A dark, like Bridgerton scene of like
Yes.
people dancing in petticoats, but they're like angry, and or it's like there's something dark and sexual going on between them.
Always underneath the petticoat, there's something
Right?
dark and sexual. There never has not been.
Once you see a petticoat, you know people are up to no good.
It just means repression. So you
Yeah.
know something's boiling under
A
there.
corset and a petticoat,
A
good
corset
night.
is the hottest thing. Why does every body type look so good in a corset?
I know.
I used to
Apple,
have, that was
pear.
the best waitress uniform I ever had, was whenever we worked at Les Deux, and the bottle service girls all wore corsets.
Oh my God.
Which is like, it's sexy, but it's also nice because it's like wearing a shield, kind of. Like, now bottle service girls are like in bikini, like string bikinis. I could not work like that because people are like touching you. But the corset, it was like you were like cinched in and you had like thick layer between you
Ooh.
and anybody that would like do
Wait,
anything
was it
creepy.
like it covers your boobs, right?
I mean, your boobs are like pushed up, but it's so thick that you're like in armor, kind of.
What color was it?
It was red. Well, during the course of the whole club, we had like white, we had black, we had red, but red was like the most iconic.
Oh my God. What season are you?
Red was the color. Red was the one where Britney Spears was in Us magazine saying she wanted to be a Lay-Do girl. And
I
they were
remember Lay-Do
this
girls.
is what they wear. And like our like waitress uniform was like in an episode, in a issue of Us Weekly.
The Pussycat Dolls ripped you off.
Yeah, they did.
Didn't they?
That was all during the same era.
Like big fishnets too.
Yes. I would go to the stripper store and get my like fishnets with little bows on the knee. I thought that was so hot.
Oh my God. Yeah.
A bow on the knee is still a hot look for like a
FYI.
Halloween costume situation if you want to whore it out.
Do you still have your corset? In red or all colors?
I have the red one.
Damn.
'Cause
So
it's
what were you guys
iconic.
wearing on the bottom?
Like a little skirt, like
Get
a
outta
little
here.
pleated, like cheerleader skirt looking black skirt is what I would wear. And then fishnets, knee high with a bow, always with a bow.
Not me getting aroused right now. I'm
And
like,
then what?
wait, why am I getting horny? If you just changed your voice a little bit and like write it down,
Yeah.
we would get subscribers to the Patreon page.
Everybody hit that subscribe button right now
Sorry.
as I describe this corset.
What were you wearing underneath?
Most of our listeners are male, by the way, if you want to say hello.
Sometimes I would take a little dump. Right.
I always would hate whenever people would walk up behind me at work because I was secretly farting. Don't walk up behind your waitresses, no matter how sexual they are.
95% chance they're crop dusting.
They could be, that waist was tight. It was cinched. Had gastric issues.
I'm crying.
And we lost everybody. Will you tell us what the title track, Asteroid, is about?
Asteroid. The first line is, I have tried to fix myself, straighten out the bumps and flatten where I'm bent, heal the parts that needed help. I have tried to fix myself.
And that's what a corset will do as well.
Fix any kinds of flaws or errors.
Flatten out.
Yep. Spilling out and flattening. I had a big fight with my husband and I was shocked at how immature I can be in a fight. And I was just so frustrated that I've done all this work on myself, years of therapy. I don't drink anymore. I am emotionally mature. And yet in the middle of a fight, I can just go right back to being like a little wounded 6-year-old that's like, I'm going to take my ball and go home. I think I was like walking to the bus stop with a little fucking bindle or something, like my backpack, like I'm leaving. And I just felt so dejected. And I was thinking about when I was a little girl and I would run away from home and my parents wouldn't even notice because I'd be home by the time they got home.
Yeah.
So it's just a song about like wanting to go out, just leave. And it's kind of a poor me song.
Yeah.
But
we all do it.
Yeah. And the character in the song is wanting to go out into nature and just look at this asteroid that's hurtling through space coming right at her.
Which is a real thing. 2035.
Hey, yep, here for it.
Shout
Marked
out
it on my
asteroid.
Google Cal.
Your album's really going to go viral then.
I know.
Everybody
can't wait for those checks from Spotify and Sound Exchange. Woo! But yeah, I like that there's an element of like, will nature save me? Like, am I going out to look at this, to stargaze and feel better? Or am I going out into nature and praying to get hit by this asteroid? That's what I was trying to go for with the lyrics. So it's kind of dark.
Yeah.
A little dark. But that's my favorite song. That was another one that I just thought, like, I'll never put this on an album. But then Matt, my husband, who's a songwriter, Matt Pond, he heard it and he was like, obviously that's going on your record, right? And I was like, no, that's just one for my songwriting group.
Wow.
And he was like, you got to, because it's like a slow kind of jazzy song too. I'm like, I'm writing weird stuff. Weird songs are coming out of me. I shouldn't put this out, but it's actually ended up being one of my favorite songs.
How does it become the title track then, if you weren't even sure?
Much like with my first album, Miss Halfway, I was looking for a good title. And then it just hit me like it's, no pun intended, hit
Like
me.
an asteroid?
It's just a strong title. I've never had an album, I don't think that's one word. Like I've had Miss Halfway, Spirit School, EP, Felony Flats, Paper Plane. I do a lot of alliteration, I realize, like PPFF.
Yeah.
I just liked how strong it sounded. Asteroid
Mm-hmm.
and brilliant. And then the stylist that I worked with, Jill Bream, who's amazing and works on SNL, she was like, "Wow, well, you have to be an asteroid on the cover, like obviously." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Just embody an asteroid. Like, let's just look up the colors of an asteroid. Come on, it's gold, it's red, it's orange, it's blue."
And that is my favorite part of this. Like, this makeup job is insane.
That took a couple hours to apply and at least an hour to take off and clean up off the hotel room floor.
So much.
It's so good. Shout out Jay Brandon. Oh my God, he killed it. That was really fun. If you are ever feeling down, just face glitter, body glitter.
Glitter your face.
Yeah.
How is it stuck on?
I have no idea. And I don't want to know, but it took a really long time. They painted on.
Yeah.
Probably something toxic.
It's still in the carpet of that hotel room.
Yeah. I was definitely on my hands and knees at the hotel trying to get it out of the floor. But yeah, that I'm so happy with this record. It's my favorite one, I think, of all.
Really?
I love it. I love it. I feel like being around you, I'm slowly morphing into Paris. It's like coming through. If you hang out with Carlisle Forrester for 10 minutes, you start getting a drawl, like just a slight.
I mean,
what's the difference between like an Oxford drawl and let's say like a Nashvilleian?
They're very different.
Yeah.
I mean, Oxford, the thing about Oxford is almost like there's so many like young people there because of college. And so it's kind of like this sorority girl Southern is what I call it.
Right.
It's like real, it's like different. It's not country.
It's hardly even an accent.
Sometimes people can't tell that I have an accent. And sometimes people will be like, "Oh, you're not doing your accent." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Doing it.
I'm never doing it. I feel like whenever I'm on stage, it comes out more maybe. And so
yeah, it's like so relaxed.
If I'm tired. But I used to have an accent reduction coach out here. Because I was trying so hard to book acting roles. And I just knew that, everything that it could be, I was going to try to fix for the reason.
Can you speak without one?
So it's basically just I. If I say I.
Right, it's gone.
Instead of saying I.
Right.
Like that's the biggest difference. So it's like any word that has like I in it, like I'm tired.
Okay. Any, that's a little bit Southern. Any word.
Yeah.
I say any.
Like another sound like that is for like the number 10.
10.
Like I always have to like really enunciate with 10.
So, right. 10.
My default's like 10.
10. How do your parents talk?
My dad mumbles a lot, and I think I get that from him too. He's kind of like a mumbler.
Yeah.
Like, Southern's like kind of like.
I love that.
And I'll get like that too whenever I'm tired.
I have my business managers in Nashville, and I always forget that they're there. And then whenever we get on a call, I'm like, oh, I forget. Like, you can't just start in with business.
No.
Like, I'm so used to like, hey, I don't want to bug you. Yeah, there's a lot. They're like, how's Matt doing?
That's good.
I tell you, I know your dog was sick for a while. Now, how's your dog doing? I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to remember how many children you have so I can ask you.
Right. You're like,
I love it though. It's like that. It's very sweet. I think it's genuine, right?
No, it's genuine. It's for sure.
Okay, good. I hope.
How's your mama and them? You ever heard that one? That's a Southern phrase. How's your mama and them?
How's your mama and them? So that's like your mom and your family?
Your family.
What if you don't have any more people? What if it's just you and your mama and they're like, how's your mama and them?
Yeah. Then you just get real sad and you go, well, Earl died. How's your mom and them doing?
When I drove through Kentucky, they said, what'd they say? Ain't no telling.
Oh, ain't no telling.
Oh my gosh. I had never heard that in my life.
Ain't no telling. And that's just the way you end anything.
Yeah.
That
it's
you
like,
don't know what
take
else
care.
to say.
Take care. That's LA's ain't no telling.
You know? But I disagree that bless your heart is something bad. Because I've heard people think that that's like saying fuck you.
Right.
I don't think it always is.
Sometimes it can be a genuine, I care about
Bless
you.
your heart.
You're so sweet.
Well, bless your heart.
It does feel like you might hate me.
It's not though. Like that's like what your grandmother would say to you. I mean, maybe my grandmother hated me, but
No, who can hate little Carlisle? They never called you a nickname, right?
yeah,
Carly? They did?
Yeah,
Do you
a lot
hate
of
it?
people go. I really don't like it.
Yeah.
I always loved Carlisle because of, like you said, it sounds
Wealthy.
rich. But you know, I was manifesting even at a young age, and I said, let's go with this one. No, because Carlisle is my real name. It's
Right.
just, you know, a lot of kids can't say it. So
They can't? What are
Carlisle is hard for, you know, a lot of people to say.
they? Carlisle?
Yeah.
Oh,
My kitchen guys in the back at
these
work,
children, I'm worried about them.
they can't they can't say Carlisle. I don't want to generalize and get canceled for saying Latino, but that sound, that Lyle,
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Carlisle,
Carlisle.
like, they would just rather say Carlita.
Yeah, whenever I go to Mexico, they're very confused about my name. I'm like, Anya. Anya. Anya.
Yeah.
And they're like, Anna. I'm like, no, Anya. It's funny because in my parents.
Do you have a nickname?
No.
A Russian nickname?
Anyutka, Anichka, Anya, Anka.
That's
They
what
have
your
a
mom
million. Some Anyas are Nyusha, which I never liked, and I've never been a Nyusha, but I'm Anichka.
How do you get that from Anya? This is so interesting.
Anyuta, Anyusha, Nyusha. Okay? Carlisle is hard for Russian. Carlisle. They'd be like, Nuka Carlisle. Yeah, they would. I don't think you'd have one. Carlisle.
Yeah, what would my Russian be?
Carla. You just be Carla.
I have so many nicknames.
Carlisle. Yeah, they don't have a Lyle. You're right.
Lyle is weird for other cultures.
Yeah.
And a lot of telemarketers will call and they'll say, can I speak to Carlizzle? It's like, yeah, Carlizzle.
How cool is it to have a
nailed it.
silent S?
S is silent.
It's so cool, Carlisle.
It's lend itself to some other nicknames, like Lizzle is another nickname.
That's unacceptable. I wouldn't put up with that for a second. If someone tried to call me that and my name was Carlisle.
Or just Lyle.
No.
Which I don't hate.
Yeah, it's kind of cool if you're just feeling, especially.
What if I just started going by Lyle, y'all? What's up, y'all? It's Lyle.
It just doesn't work. You're
You
so
sound
feminine.
really lazy and tired.
You're so feminine. You're a Carlisle. Carlisle is just such a cool androgyn. Like, it's a strong.
Well, it's a man's name. The
Yeah.
only other people I've met named Carlisle were black men.
Oh.
There used to be, I keep talking about Les Deux, this club I used to work at, but there used to be this guy that everybody called Big C, like Big C. And one day Big C walked up to me and he was just like, yo, you Carlisle? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I'm Carlisle. I mean, we could not have been any different. And then there was another one in an acting class one time, also black, also male. So apparently there's some Carlisles floating.
Wow.
But not usually as a first name. It's my mom's maiden name.
Right. And then your real name shall not be named.
We can say it. No,
I forgot it. Oh, I know it. I just thought of it. If you know it,
it's
link and subscribe. Like and subscribe. We can't give it out, but we're going to give it out to the subscribers. You can find out her real
sign
name.
up for my Patreon to find out my real legal name. No, it's Esther.
Oh man,
Esther Carlisle, which
such a good name. Too.
I was so bullied on the first day of school. Did you ever get bullied for your name?
Hell yeah.
You know, whenever the first day
Onion.
is the only, they called you Onion?
Yep.
Oh,
I know. What a it's horrible.
That's so mean.
It's so mean, but I just ignored it and I persevered.
That's right. Everybody that got bullied about their name, it gives you a way to be whenever you're older so that you can, like, it actually makes me stronger that I had to correct people at a young age. Do you know what I mean? And be
Yeah.
like, no, actually, it's Carlisle.
Oh, is that
Like-
why you chose Carlisle? Because you were bullied for Esther?
Well, just on the first day of school, like, until they realized, like, oh, she's going to go by a middle name, not the first name, because
Right.
it's like legal and then middle. But in the South, it's quite common. Like, a lot of people go by their middle name. But to me, at a young age, it just gives you one more thing to have to, like, learn to, like, assert yourself in situations. So my friend that was having a kid recently that was like, we want him to go by his middle name, but then is that going to be confusing? And I'm like, no, we'll give him strength.
That's good.
You know?
Yeah. Anya Marina. That's my first and middle name. So there you go.
Yeah, you're going with middle.
Yep. I'm doing it. I did it. I'm doing it.
I did it.
It's done.
Done.
Well, my legal last name is it's not a good stage name. So Anya Marina just felt like it worked.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older, I'm like, should I have just gone with my real last name? Like Leslie Feist. She's Feist. What a cool last name. But I just don't have my last name is Croth. That's not a good. It sounds like you're lisping, like crossing the street.
You could have just been Croth during that era where it's like Feist, Croth.
It sounds like a yacht rock band name, doesn't
it?
You guys listen to Croth?
You guys into that?
It just doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Croth, Stills and Nash.
I love that girl shit t-shirt.
Okay,
Yes,
this is the last thing I was going to say before we wrap up. You guys, if you all go to AnyaMarina.com.
Look at your TTs. You look perfect.
This
Look
is
at you.
the part of the show where we model the merch. Girl Shit is a song on the album. And where do they get the shirt?
You can go to AnyaMarina.com. It's on my Bandcamp page. Or if you're writing down links, AnyaMarina.bandcamp.com. Yep. Limited edition girl shit tees. It really looks so cute on you.
I love it.
I love it too.
It's a cute shirt. It's always good to have merch, like even if they didn't know the song. It's a cool shirt to have.
Oh my God. Men love it.
Girl
Guys
shit.
buy it at my shows just as much as women.
Yeah. Because girl shit is like the universal. Tell us what it means.
This song is really for my gals. It's for all my girlies. We're on a girls chat together and I got inspired by the girls and I even put you guys all in my video for the lyric video for that song.
Yep.
It's just about like growing up, getting bullied, going through all kinds of tough stuff and then realizing how strong women are and coming out the other side, like whether you got bullied or you were in a bad relationship. The song covers all that. But it's like, it's weird. Don't you think that women have to give birth and like just bounce back like it's nothing?
Yeah.
Like, oh, just typical girl shit. No big deal.
Yeah. Just get back out there and fit into your same.
It's wild to me that you
Get
can
those heels
even have
on,
a baby.
wrangle that toddler.
I would be milking that forever. Like, I had a baby.
Yeah.
And not that I have, but I would be so proud. I don't know how.
Oh, yeah. I'd be telling everybody.
Yeah. How
for
do you
years and years.
do
I
that?
can't. I just had a baby. Wait, the baby's too. I know. Still processing my life.
The ultimate excuse. I mean, it is an incredible feat. So it's just for
it's
all women.
incredible what women do.
Yeah.
So that's what Girl Shit is about. And I'm so honored to be in that video. You're already on YouTube, so go check out the video for Girl Shit.
Yeah.
And you'll see all of us as babies.
I know. So many cute photos of you. Did I put the one of you and your little brother in there? I can't remember.
Me and a little cousin, but yeah.
Oh, okay. You're so cute.
And I think it might have been like one of the first times I held a baby.
Oh my God.
And was like, I'm never doing this.
Ever.
That's what my face says in the picture. I'm
I
like,
think I
not
knew.
for me.
Yeah.
Just holding a baby. Just very sweetly like, this will never be me. Don't get your hopes up.
Get a load of it now, Mom and Dad.
Get a picture of it now.
I think I knew too. Pretty
knew.
early on.
There was an episode of Night Court. Okay, I'm gonna date myself. There's a reboot of Night Court for the young viewers. Yeah,
Really?
do you know that?
No.
But anyway, it was this old show in like the 80s, and she was having a baby, and screaming and crying. And I don't know the blonde character. I was too young to even know like character names or anything. But I was just like, what is happening? And we were on a family trip, and it was my mom and grandmother, and they explained it to me like, oh, she's having a baby, and you're going to have to do that too someday.
Kill me.
And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And this wasn't like a nature documentary. This was just like a sitcom, so they're doing all the screaming and like breathing. Like it was a very silly scene, but I was still like, nope, not doing it.
They scared you.
It was very scary.
It's a good deterrent. It's weird that we learned about the birds and the bees from TV shows, like not our parents. Like I remember The Love Boat and watching people make out on the Lido deck. Did you ever watch The Love Boat?
And you're like, gross, a little bit.
They were doing this weird, like you know how you take your Barbies?
Yes,
and you do this weird. And I remember my dad walking in once and he's like, oh, they're necking on TV. You shouldn't be watching that. I was like, what's necking? I thought it was rubbing your neck against the other person's neck.
And then we would start to do that with our Barbies and like make their faces turn. And because you're like, I don't know what they're doing, but
yeah.
And I used to call it a soap opera kiss. And I would be like, one time I told like my mom, I was like, no, dude. She went to kiss me and I was like, do it like they do in a soap opera.
Make out with
and
me,
then they
Mom?
were like freaking out. They're like, who kisses you like that? Who did that? And I was like, no. I just saw it on Days of Our Lives.
Parents always freak out and like project all their shit on TV. You're like, I'm a child. I don't know. I remember shaving my legs
I was like,
for the first time in 7th grade because my friends were shaving their legs.
Yes.
I didn't know anything. I shaved my legs. I came home. My parents start weeping. They're like, why are you sexualizing yourself? I'm like, what word are you using? I don't even know what that word means. They're like, sex.
I remember begging my mom to let me shave. Like, this is so gross, but I used to take the hair and like get it really hot and sweaty and try to make it bushy just to be like, look, I need to do it. And they'd be like, stop doing that to your leg. And I was just like, trying to get them.
That makes perfect sense to me.
I forget what grade. I was like, not until 8th grade or whatever, but like everybody was doing it.
Yeah. You were like,
and so I would just conjure up. Just conjure up my little hairs.
Hot,
this is taking
and
a gross
sweaty.
turn, but what are you gonna do?
It's girl shit.
It's all girl shit.
Yeah.
I loved having you here, Anya.
It was so
Thank
fun.
you.
It flew by.
Everybody go subscribe, like and subscribe to Anya has a YouTube.
I do. Anya Marina Music.
Anya Marina Music. And then your Instagram is your name.
You can join my Patreon at patreon.com/Anya Marina. I post a new song every week.
We love that.
If not every week. And it's really fun. You can see the behind the scenes process. And it's probably the number one best way of supporting this independent artist.
Support this gal, y'all. And get a girl shit t-shirt.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here for the hang.